Good morning. Welcome to Unity of Mesa. My name is Reverend Mindy Tucker, and it's my honor to welcome you into this sacred space, this joyful place, this community that is here with you and for you always, with a mission and a purpose to enliven, empower, enthuse, and all those other E words that are part of our spiritual evolution. Unity of Mesa is part of a worldwide movement that builds consciousness. It's a consciousness of love, joy, and peace. A consciousness that begins in the heart of God, but from God's heart to your heart. God's heart to your heart, and to your heart, we soon have a community of hearts beating as one, knowing that there's only love, joy, and peace for us to experience in our lifetime. In many unity centers around the world, this sacred time, this time of opening and discovery, is celebrated with an affirmation that goes like this: there is only one presence and one power active in the universe and in my life, God the good omnipotence. And I invite you to allow that affirmation to wash over you as you remember that you are a beloved expression of God. You are here for a holy purpose. Yes, you. You are here for a holy purpose. And that of all the places you could have chosen to be, you chose to be at Unity of Mesa, with Unity of Mesa in this moment. You are at the right place, at the right time, right now. Here at Unity of Mesa, our lesson today is given by Reverend Nickie Golden. Our singer is Alex Ncube, and on the piano we have a very new dear friend already, Anthony Procopio. We're so blessed. We have you. We have you. So I'm going to invite Arn to come back, and he's going to share our statement that he's going to then invite us into saying, for we know that when we add the power of our voice to truth, it reverberates around the world and through our lives in a whole new way.
So thank you for sharing your love and light with us this morning. And please know that your soul is welcome here. And if you would all join me, please, as we say our guiding statement, why we come together.
We are here to experience more of the fullness of who we truly are in order to transform the world. All are welcome here. I'm now going to invite you to stand. We're singing a Ricky Byers song today, I'm Choosing Heaven. And Alex is coming up. And Anthony's going to play the piano. And we're going... Okay, go ahead. I'll stop singing. I'm going to stop talking. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing, I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing love today. I'm choosing love today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing, I'm choosing love today. I'm choosing peace today. I'm choosing peace today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing, I'm choosing peace today. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing, I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing, I'm choosing heaven today. Thank you so much. Please be seated. We have one ready person from our youth ministry who's going to come up right now, and it looks like it's Raven. Oh, we have two. Okay, so you're ready? You ready? Okay, are you saying it too? Just, okay.
I am the place that God shines through.
Okay, and what are you going to invite us to do? Say it with you. Please say it with me.
Please say it with me.
Yes. I am the place where God shines through. And we bless you. And because you were so courageous, do you want to do it manually with your finger, or do you want to push the button? Push the button. Okay. We're going to bless you too and the youth ed teachers. As you go off to your program, we're going to say, children, we love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. And we behold the Christ you are. Thank you so much and have a good time.
I could tell you I was fragile. I could tell you I was weak. I could write you out a letter, tell you anything you need. I've seen minutes turn to hours, hours turn to years, and I've seen truth turn to power. If you could see me the way I see you, if you could feel me the way I feel you, you'd be a believer, you'd be a believer. Minutes turn to hours, hours turn to years, and I've seen truth turn to power. I could tell you I was ageless, but I know you see the light. I could tell you I'm immune to everything, but that's a lie. Dust don't turn to flowers, scars don't disappear, but I've seen truth turn to power. If you could see me the way I see you, if you could feel me the way I feel you, you'd be a believer, you'd be a believer, you'd be a believer, you'd be. It's hard to keep going on. It's hard to keep going on. It's hard to keep going on. If you could see me the way I see you, if you could feel me the way I feel you, you'd be a believer, 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 you'd be. It's turned to hours, hours turn to years, and I've seen truth turn to power.
Alexandra and Anthony, we're talking about the foundations of freedom. How many of you experience freedom on a daily basis? Yes. And if you do and you're online, go ahead and type it in. I experience freedom on a daily basis. The foundation of our freedom is our understanding and our application. It takes both, our understanding and our application of our knowingness that the consciousness of heaven is already within us. The consciousness of God is already within us. You may remember it from the Bible as the kingdom of heaven is within. But the kingdom of heaven is our consciousness. So that consciousness lies within us at all times. Emily Cady, whose book we have in the bookstore, the foundational textbook for unity, Emily Cady wrote, and it's called Lessons in Truth. And what Emily Cady teaches, and what I believe and what unity has embraced, is that we are either in freedom or we are in bondage. It's an either or. There's not a lot of those, huh? But it is an either or. We are either in freedom or we are in bondage. Charles Fillmore says the metaphysical definition of freedom is that we have an experience of being unlimited. Now, we live in freedom, but how many of us have that experience of being unlimited? The experience, not the knowingness. So we want to move from the knowingness that we are unlimited to the experience that we are unlimited. So what Emily Cady says is that in any given moment we can choose. And that when we think that we are limited, when our experience of ourselves is that we are limited, then we're actually in our body consciousness, in our physical consciousness, in our human consciousness. Now remember, we're fully human and we're fully divine, and there's nothing wrong with either, but we're pointed in the direction of our human consciousness rather than embracing both our human consciousness and our divine consciousness. John Shelby Spong says we cannot actually learn to be fully divine until we learn to be fully human, until we learn that we have within us the Spirit of God, or whatever you want to call God. And the Bible teaches us that where the Spirit of the Lord is, where the Spirit of God is, where the Spirit of the divine is, there is freedom. That freedom is already there, and that's our foundation, that we're already free. So our learning is, how do we bring it forth? How do we call it out? How do we begin to radiate it forth so that we can truly live in a way that is unlimited rather than in bondage? Let's take a moment and look. When we are in that point where we feel like we're out of control in our lives, when we're in that point where we feel like we're overwhelmed in our lives, we are feeling limited. Have you ever had that feeling? I have to raise my hand high because I have had it many times. And when we're there, the beautiful thing is that presence and power, that one presence and one power that's active in the universe and in our lives, as Reverend Mindy talked about, hasn't gone anywhere. We have just started to look in a different place. We have moved our attention, we have moved our awareness to a different place. And the cool thing is all we have to do is move our attention and our awareness back. It's as simple as moving from here to moving to here. It's as simple as going from here to here. And I want to give you an experience of it. You know, some of us are visual learners, and some of us are auditory learners, and some of us are kinesthetic learners, and I happen to be a kinesthetic learner. So if this is my lack of awareness of my unlimited potential, and this is my awareness of my unlimited potential, I can bring them together. Try that. One side is your belief that you are limited, that you have difficulty in life sometimes because you feel overwhelmed and out of control. And then the other hand is the presence and power of God that is within you, and you simply bring them together. Yeah, you can do it with a clap. Makes a difference. Or you can bring them together in any way that works for you that is a reminder of, hey, I don't have to stay in this belief system. I can make a shift, because it is a perceptual shift. And then when we can learn to embody that shift, we can learn to live from that place of embodiment. I want to give you some factoids that I know. Donna, could you show the slide, please? One back, please. When we feel limited, when we feel out of control, maybe one more back. It should have 3 things on it: cognitive, motivational. There we go. Thank you. When we feel limited, when we feel as if we're overwhelmed, as if we don't know quite what to do, we can look at 3 areas or aspects of our life. We can look at the cognitive. We perceive that we have no control over our environment or of our circumstances. I have felt that at times. Like, I don't know what to do. Whatever I do doesn't impact anything. Nothing works for me. Any of those thoughts familiar? You probably have your own thoughts. I call them ruminations. But you have your own monkey mind that's running around. So yours will be unique to you. But our task, if we can do so, and part of recognizing who we are, is to come into that awareness of our thoughts. Oh, are my thoughts supporting my freedom, or are my thoughts supporting my feeling of being in bondage? The second place is motivational. When I feel like I'm out of control of a situation, it's difficult to generate the energy to change the situation, because I've already perceived it. I've already begun to have those thoughts. So I've already perceived that it's uncontrollable. So again, I have to come back to the level of thoughts. Charles Fillmore says that all healing is actually mental cleansing. It's catching our thoughts and changing our thoughts. So if I think I'm out of control in my world, or circumstances are actually impacting me, they're the obstacle to me, then I need to look at these 3 factors. The first is my thoughts, and then when I'm noticing that all I really want to do is watch movies, all I really want to do is go to the mall, and there's nothing wrong with movies or the mall, but when that's all I want to do, when I don't have that oomph, that impulse, that inner decision, action making part of me engaged, then I'm going to be in a place where I feel like I'm pushing the boulder uphill. And I actually prefer to feel like the way is made clear for me. And the last component is emotional. It's a sense of helplessness that over time lowers our self-esteem, and it also lowers our sense of worthiness. So when I'm feeling like I am at the effect of the world, my thoughts are going to be different. My motivation level is going to be low, and I'm going to feel like I'm not deserving, I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, nothing I do has an impact. Those are part of what Emily Cady is talking about, of being embodied in sense consciousness, or now we talk about it more as collective consciousness. Have you noticed there's been a lot going on in the political realm, there's been a lot going on in the health realm, there's been a lot going on financially. Pick the one that's going on in your life. Have you noticed, I can't get ahead? Have you noticed any thought like that? Have you noticed, I feel powerless over this? Or did you, when you start to notice the different things that are going on outside of you, did you say, oh, it's time to take this into prayer so that I can come into the fullness of my divinity and move forward from that consciousness rather than the consciousness of I feel at the effect of? And this is the difference with freedom. Freedom does not mean that the way is always clear for us. It means that whatever circumstances come forward in life, that we have the spiritual tools within us, because we know that the presence of God is already within us. So all of the capacities of God are already within us. When we know that, when we are living that, then we can move forward from that place. And we're able then to navigate no matter what's happening in our world. In our move from Wilmington, North Carolina to Mesa, we hit a few obstacles. And with each obstacle, Reverend Mindy and I said to each other, we're meant to be there. The way will be made clear. We're meant to be there. We're called to be there. The way will be made clear. And it was. There's a picture that we bought that says, she believed she could, so she did. She believed she could, so she did. How beautiful is that? When we believe, and that's the level of the cognitive, when we believe that we have that capacity, when we're willing to take the time in prayer and meditation to gather that energy of the divine within us, we're able to move forward in a new level of consciousness. Now, Emily Cady also says, and Donna, would you do the next slide, please? Emily Cady also says to us that all joy, all strength and good spring up from a fountain within one's own being. So the goodness is already within us. And imagine for a moment a fountain. And my fountain has layers and levels, and it's really going, it's just flowing. Make it as big as you can make it. Make it the perfect and the right fountain for you. All joy and strength and good spring up from a fountain within one's own being. And if we only knew this truth, we should know that, because God is in us. God in us is that fountain out of which springs our good. Nothing, and this is important, nothing that anyone does or says or fails to do or say can take away our good and our joy. If our joy is impacted, then that's a beautiful place to say to yourself, from a very generous, loving place, oh, that's a place where I am not experiencing freedom in this moment. Now, sometimes we do it with the baseball bat of our words, but we can do it as simply as letting that fountain flow and saying, oh, look, there's a place where my fountain's not flowing. And when I bring my generous, loving attention to this place, then it's going to shift. But I'm going to have to do a little work with it. I'm going to have to look at what was I thinking when I had that experience? What was I feeling when I had that experience? And what part of my past am I bringing forward as I'm having that experience? Am I actually in the present moment? Or have I picked up something that's unresolved from my past and I've carried it forward and I don't recognize it as my past? But when I bring my generous, loving attention to it and ask a few questions, then I can begin to see it as a piece of my past that's simply wanting to be loved, that's wanting to be embraced, that's wanting to be acknowledged. Reverend Eric Butterworth tells a story of a man, and it's in one of his books. He tells the story of a man who Eric Butterworth called crippled, and you have to remember that this is in the 1960s. But differently abled would be the term that I would use right now. So here's a person who's differently abled, and Eric Butterworth is having a conversation with him, and he says, oh, you are a very successful person. And the guy says, well, thank you very much. I look for the openings and the opportunities in my life to be successful. And Eric Butterworth goes on in the conversation, and he says, I haven't seen anything, and he's known him for a long time. I haven't seen anything in you that shows me that you're letting your disability get in the way. It hasn't seemed to have colored your life any. And the man says to Eric Butterworth, that's because I love all these colors of the rainbow. And I go toward the color. I move toward that which is the obstacle. And I move toward in such a way that I know I can navigate it. And I do. What's your obstacle? What's your challenge? And how have you been navigating it? And can you come to a moment of loving yourself for even having the challenge? Because if you are having a challenge, you are growing. You are stepping outside your comfort zone. And can you love yourself for being in tune with the universe that's always expanding? Because growth is conscious expansion. Can you simply love yourself no matter what for what's happening? And know that you have within you, I ask you to touch your heart for a moment. Know that you have within you, at the level of your heart, you have within you everything that you need to know to move through this challenge. Say it with me. I have everything I need to know to move through this challenge. It's already within me. It's already within me. And sometimes we do need reminders. The other day, I was doing something and I was wondering if I was right for something. Was this the right task for me? Was this the right job for me? Was this the right word for me? It's like I was in that place of insecurity, and I just started to laugh because I opened up Facebook and there is a passage that another minister had put from Charles Fillmore's book, Talks on Truth. And what did it say? You were in the right place at the right time right now. And I just had to laugh. So that's one time. And then I'm going on with something else. And there's some music that comes along that says exactly the same thing. And then there was a third event that came along. So if you're ever wondering, just open up to wonder. If you're ever asking yourselves those questions, open up to wonder and open up to seeing what the universe is responding to you with. Because so often when we are in that place of feeling limited, when we are stuck cognitively, when we are having low motivation and we're feeling unworthy, we're not open to the pathway, the doorway that's in front of us. So we're not seeing the messages, and they may come from a person, they may come from a billboard, they may come from a song. Who knows where they're going to come from, but they will be there when we look, when we're open to them. Donna, would you change this slide? So Martha Smock is a Unity writer of many years ago, but she's amazing wisdom. She says, freedom is ours. I'm changing her words a little bit because I'm including myself. Freedom is ours, but we must realize it and claim it. So say with me now, I claim my freedom now.
I claim my freedom now.
Yeah. Say it again.
I claim my freedom now.
And one more time.
I claim my freedom now.
Yeah, we're claiming our freedom. So now we're going to see opportunities that come along. So Martha Smock goes on to say, there is nothing that can limit or bind you, for in truth, in spirit, you are free, unfettered, unbound. The universal teacher, Jesus said, the truth will set you free. So when we come back in the truth of knowing who we are, when we come back to that foundation that we have within us, the consciousness of the divine, of spirit, when we come back and we live from that consciousness, then we are unbound. And when life happens, and life is going to happen, when life happens, we go within and we discover the tools. And the tool, Charles Fillmore says that the tools of prayer and meditation are the ones that lead us into the consciousness of our divinity in such a way that we can utilize that consciousness, that we can draw upon it, that we can call upon it in the moment. Have you ever had an experience where you've been studying a concept, an idea, and you're still living your life and you've been studying it, this idea, and suddenly over here, maybe it's a day, maybe it's more than a day, maybe it's a week, maybe it's a month, you realize, I didn't react like I would have reacted back here. I have changed, I have grown, I've gone beyond this. You have then embodied that concept. You have embodied that idea and you're using it in your life. And we are living practical Christianity. Unity is based on practical Christianity, which means we must be practicing our spiritual tools because principle is unchangeable. And we are the ones that shine. We're just as the YFM affirmation is, we are the ones that come forth and shine that. So how do we do this? Because it's easy to talk about, but sometimes more difficult to do. We can look for the benefits that are flowing from the challenges. Look for them. Seek first the kingdom of God, which we can arrange because God is good. Seek first the kingdom of good. Seek first the consciousness of good. So when something is showing up as a challenge in your life, how do I seek the good and the goodness that is in that challenge? Where do I find it? And believe me, you might have to get your microscope out sometimes, your telescope sometimes. Take whatever it takes. Do whatever it takes to find the good. And the moment we have the good, we are in that opening to expanding our awareness of our divinity. We are in that moment of expanding our awareness of the skills, the capacities. Charles Fillmore called them the faculties of mind that are already within us, that are available to us to call upon, to use. The second way is seek to learn the valuable lessons from the obstacles or the challenges. What can I learn from this? It's a very simple question. Say it with me. What can I learn from this? Let's say it again. What can I learn from this? What can I learn from this? When we ask it with curiosity, then the answers will come. We, again, have to be open to the answer as it comes. And sometimes I don't want to hear that answer, so I might ask again and again. But one of the beautiful things about Spirit is the answer will keep coming around, and it will nudge us. And if we're not moving in that direction, we'll keep getting the nudge. And last but not least, celebrate. Celebrate the goodness of our lives. Take that in for a moment. Excuse me. Take that in. Celebrate the goodness of your life. Take a moment and think, what is the goodness of my life? What was the best thing that happened to me this week? What allowed me to be present in this amazing spiritual community in the moment that I'm here? What from within me called me forth and called me to get dressed and get in the car and take a drive and be here? Be here with other beautiful beings of light. Look around and see the light that is before us, the light that has joined you. Look around and see the love that is present here for you. And if you came in lonely today, take a drink. Take a drink. Take a big drink of that. If you came in celebrating, share that celebration with somebody. If you came in wondering, am I good enough? Take a drink of the good enoughness, the goodness that is here, available to you in every moment. And if you're still wondering, I'm going to the ice cream social afterwards. Find me there. I'll be eating some ice cream at the annex. But come and talk to me, and I'll talk to you about your worthiness, because I can see it. I can see it. And I know that you have that seed that is growing into an amazing plant, tree, whatever kind of living being that you want. It's already within you, and it's happening because you're here right now. Freedom is my birthright, and I choose it now. Would you say that with me? Freedom is my birthright, and I choose it now. Just like Emily Cady says, in every moment we are available to choose freedom or bondage. But when we come home to ourselves in our inner knowing of who we are, created in the image of and as the likeness of God, coming home within ourselves to our divinity, freedom is our birthright, and we can choose it in any moment, in any circumstance, in any situation. Let's take that thought into a time of meditation. Freedom is my birthright, and I choose it now. I choose freedom. I am freedom. Freedom. That state of being where I know that I am unlimited potential. And just breathe into that. I am unlimited potential. I have within me every capacity to live the fullest, most amazing life I choose to live. When life gets difficult, I can see past the difficulty. I can embrace the skills, the spiritual tools that are within me already. I can call upon them and utilize them. And I can make a shift in my consciousness. I can embrace my full humanity and my full humanity, full divinity, my full humanity and my full divinity. Let's take those thoughts freely into the sacred and holy silence. Gently and easily, from a consciousness of love, ask yourself, what will I choose today? Will I choose heaven? And then say to yourself, if the answer is yes, I'm choosing heaven today. Will I choose love? And if the answer is yes, I'm choosing love today. And then ask yourself, am I choosing peace today? And if the answer is yes, affirm again, I'm choosing peace today. Standing in the foundation of our consciousness, knowing beyond a shadow of a doubt that we are unlimited potential. Trusting that, holding it with faith, with spiritual intelligence, holding it as wisdom, and celebrating all the goodness of our life. And as the lights come up, hold that knowingness in your consciousness. We are celebrating the goodness of life. We are seeking first the consciousness of God within ourselves. We are standing in that question, what can I learn from this? And then we are living in the knowingness that all goodness of life is available to us, that we are here with open arms to receive.
Thank you, Nickie. Well, we do choose abundance here at Unity of Mesa, and we do live a prosperous life. We're so grateful for everything that we have and that we share with each other. There are many ways to give here at Unity of Mesa. You can give of your time, your talent, your treasures. You can volunteer, you can bring things in for the social hour afterwards, and you can give to the church financially by donating in the bookstore, or you can go to the mail or online. There's a portal on our unityofmesa.org. There's an app you can put in your phone called Vanco. You can do it by texting directly. The phone number is up in front of you right now, the 844-528-0827 number. So there's a number of ways. There's red buckets around the sides if you want to donate today. So anything you'd like to do certainly does help to build this community and build this ministry. So if you will take those gifts in your hands, be them present at this time or just in your mind and in your heart, hold them and share with me our offering blessing. That divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. We are grateful for the givers and the gifts. Thank you.
Dreaming from the bottom of the well, curled up in the corner of our cell. Freedom's just a story that we tell. Say, give me liberty or give me hell. I know life is just a song. If I can get the world to sing along, brothers and sisters, we are the ones, we are the ones, we are the ones that we're waiting for. We are the ones, we are the ones, we are the ones that we're waiting for. There are differences we cannot hide. Yeah, we are all one spirit deep inside. Finding out our past has been denied. We can tell our story, start to question why. Climbing out from under fear, we know what we're doing here. Brothers and sisters, we are the ones, we are the ones, we are the ones that we're waiting for. We are the ones, we are the ones, we are the ones that we're waiting for. We are the ones, we are the ones, we are the ones that we're waiting for. We are the ones, we are the ones, we are the ones. Hey, every stranger you see is a part of you teaching. We are the ones. Every stranger you see is a part of you teaching. We are the ones. Oh, we are all there is. We are the all that is. And we can get through this. We are the ones. We are all there is. We are the all that is. And we can get through this. We are the ones that we're waiting for. We are the ones. We are the ones.
Yes, we are. Thank you, Alex. Thank you. And thank you to our online viewers. You are a part of Unity of Mesa, and we appreciate your presence because your presence makes a difference.